Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Now take a second and check out my brand new merch. That's right, brand new, hot off the press merch. Check it out. We have relationship status for the streets t-shirts. We got single take and figuring it out t-shirts. We got gayer than I look t-shirts. I've got hoodies, t-shirts, masks, fanny packs, bags, everything. You name it, it's on there. All different sizes, all different colors and shades. So make sure you check that out and support. Thank you guys again so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys enjoy the new merch. You know what? I put on a bra for this. All right, welcome back to another episode of It's the Disrespect Tho. Isn't it? Mm-hmm. Isn't it? It is always disrespect. But today's guest is one of our very close friends. Hilarious. Let me tell you, if she's in the video, you will laugh. How about that?
She go viral like every 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's not true.
That's true. She is constantly going viral.
Same video. Over again.
So we love her. We know you guys love her. Everybody give it up for jaethefade.
So happy to be here. That title is bomb. The Disrespect Tho.
Oh,
that's a bomb ass.
I let the people pick the title.
The people. That's a good
The people picked it. And can I tell you what I wanted it to be, but nobody liked it?
What?
Slim Pickens.
Don't that sound like slavery? Yeah. I don't know why, but cotton did pop into my head.
But I just thought, like, doesn't the title seem like
slavery?
You keep saying that.
That's what it is. Slim Pickens.
I didn't say
I feel like that's what a slave would say to master. Well, why is the cotton so light? Slim Pickens, master.
First of all, I don't know how much you know about slavery, but I don't think the masters were asking.
I think you picked the right one.
Okay.
Y'all went.
That was the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but that everybody has their things. You was being creative, Slim Pickens. You probably thought that was hidden.
Can I tell you the truth? The truth is, I wanted one of my first comedy specials to be called Slim Pickens. Again, everybody still thinks it's
it can be for a comedy special. Yeah, that would be a good comedy special title. Slim Pickens, because you slim and you be picking.
What do I pick?
Cotton.
I don't pick cotton. Jasmine keeps calling me a slave. So.
Oh my God.
That's where
I didn't call her a slave. She told me that she thinks she was a slave in her past life because she keep having the same dream.
Me too. We was all slaves in the past life. Shit, we was all slaves like 4 generations ago.
That's a fact. That's a fact. These are just vivid dreams of mine. But how are you doing? How's life for you? You just moved to LA.
Yeah.
We'll move back. We'll move back.
Yes. I just moved back. Ever since I got back, people have been telling me you should have never left. And then my eyes gloss over, and I think about all the things I could have done in the past, whatever.
I mean, you did what was best for you.
Right? Yeah. So. It was necessary. I got to spend time with my family, got to get closer with my dad, my brother, my sister, So it was nice going back home, and I think I can come back here with a new sense of, like, how to navigate certain shit, because I got all that, like, life experience, life lesson shit back in Detroit, because Detroit don't give a about no followers. It's like, bitch, you gonna either pay $5.69 for these chips that I made, or get the out my face. Like, you can't. There ain't no influence back home. So I'm coming here humble. Mm-hmm. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm definitely a little bit more humbled because of Detroit winters. So I feel good.
I couldn't do it. I saw stuff on your story, like snowstorms. I was like, yo, I would never. I couldn't listen.
It was disgusting.
I could never. On my best day. Living in the cold.
So I'm also from the Midwest. Do you feel like in Detroit, like certain times of year, it's that seasonal depression, and you just feel like, man, I gotta get out of here. Like I'm suffocating. Mm-hmm. Like I love where I'm from. I love the city, but at the same time, it's very draining. Did you feel that?
Extremely. I always used to feel, and even when I was younger, when I would go back home, I felt like I was going back to Gotham. And I don't know if you have similar, feeling about Cleveland, but because I know that's where you're from. But when I would go back, it's just very gray sometimes.
Oh my God, so great.
And Detroit, I will say, has some of the best summers ever. Like even in comparison to LA, like on a regular day, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But it's because people are so depressed for a majority of the year. It's like, oh, we gonna this summer up because we done spent the last 6 months
in snow and no sunlight and nothing like that.
Like Michigan handled quarantine perfectly with COVID and everything. We're like, we quarantined 6 months out the year anyway. Let's go.
Right.
That was light work for you guys.
The murder slow down when it get cold outside. It's
Absolutely.
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, people was alive and well for once. You know,
and the summer come and just they try to catch up.
I can't relate.
Yeah.
I can't relate. I lived in LA for so long, and
you're from the South too. So
yeah, I'm from Atlanta, so I guess it's like it could be pretty. Like, first of all, don't do this. Don't do this.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that.
This.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're from Atlanta. You were from Atlanta, but I'm saying our experience growing up in the city that we're from, as long as we did until we were adults, is like a difference between leaving. So like the awareness of what's actually going on, I think like how bad your city actually is happens later on in life.
Oh, I fully agree. What I was going to say before she said her comments was more so that like I did like grow up there, but I didn't spend any time there, so I don't know what it's like in terms of like what they got going on crime wise. All I know is that LA.
Where did you spend the most time?
Here in
LA.
LA. So I moved out here young, so I've grown here. I know what's wrong in LA and what's not right in LA. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing in Atlanta. People are like, where do I go to eat in Atlanta? I'm like, I don't know. Where do I go to eat in Atlanta? Like, what are you supposed to do?
I am not a tour guide.
Even in LA. And when people like, I'm sure you've experienced that when you were like home or when you were here the first time, like people like, take me here. It's like, I don't know where to take you. I'm working when I'm here most of the time.
Listen, one time I remember I had a ex that he told his cousin that he had a real big place, right? He was like, come on out to LA. I'll set you up. I got a guest bedroom. The lived in like have you been to those apartments where it's literally just a studio? They don't have their own bathroom. It's a shared bathroom down the hall for about maybe 15 different residents.
No.
I've heard of
That's a hostel.
I've heard tell.
It was like a hostel. Yeah. And when she got there, she was like, this is fucked up. I want to beat your ass. Where like, figure something to out. And he didn't have money for an Airbnb, so he was like, let's stay at my girlfriend Janae's house. So they come over to my house. And I had a studio at the time. And this girl wanted to go everywhere. She's like, where are we gonna go? Where are the fun parties? Where are the good restaurants? It's like, first of all, bitch, I'm broke, you're broke, he's broke.
Right. This is the party. You're looking at it.
Exactly. Like, we can turn on some Netflix and you can chill on my couch, but I'm not about to be but I was trying to be a tour guide, and I took her to Cheesecake Factory. She's like, I could go to Cheesecake in Detroit. Then you should have stayed the home.
First of all, I want everybody to know, stop coming to LA, okay? It's nothing out here for you. You don't have to do that.
Especially asking people to entertain you. If you came out here, bitch, you should have made a list.
Right. Like, I think the common, I don't know, people are so confused because where people are from is usually much smaller than LA. Yeah. LA is so big. It's impossible to know where every single thing is. Like, you from Detroit, you from Atlanta, you know the good spots. You from Cleveland, you know the good spots to go because the city is but this big. Yeah. You in LA, the county stretches like an hour each in every way. Like, we don't know.
People be applying pressure on those of us who are transplants and move here when they come to visit you. It's all this pressure to take me here, take me there. I want to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Bitch, it's traffic. Right. Like, I don't want to.
Right.
Like, they don't
dirty
know.
Down
it's
there.
so dirty.
So dirty.
And when you're from, or not from here, but when you've lived here a little while and you know that shit, it's like, okay, I can remember being new to LA and wanting to go do all that shit.
Leaving the hype.
Exactly. But that hype is it wears off quick.
Very
so
fast.
I be trying to entertain people, or at least I used to when I lived out here before, but it's that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So
I be like, I don't know, because the spots that's like the great food, you get better food back home. Like, like if you looking for whatever the hit spot, it ain't gonna be the same as
getting it back home. Five places tops that I would really want to take someone to here, and most of them aren't involved with food or a specific activity at all. It's just, I want you to see the sunset at this time from this exact location. Like, this is something that you'll see and be like, okay, I want to go somewhere else in the world too, because it's so pretty. But aside from that, it's like, girl, you can go get some catfish anywhere.
Right. The catfish at home definitely gonna be better.
Don't even make me think about catfish. I want a catfish sandwich right now. I would tear one up. A whiting sandwich?
I would make you a catfish sandwich right now.
What? Yeah, do we have catfish?
We do.
We'll talk about that later. I mean, you can. If we got catfish, and I will get some white bread, okay? Because you know you get to have it on the white.
Okay, wait. Got some hot sauce.
Wait a minute. Are you gonna wait a minute? Because I know Jasmyn and I, we be fighting about all kinds of things, as you see, and all day long.
Please settle this debate for us.
You can settle it.
What's the debate?
And don't look at it.
I'm not about to look at it. I ain't even about to
I'll
look
cover
at
my
it.
eyes.
Okay.
You ain't gotta cover your eyes, Jazmyn.
Don't do what
This
you
is
always
your-
do.
This is your opinion.
Okay.
I can't manipulate your opinion. This is what you feel.
Right. You
All
acting
right.
like Jazz gonna go.
Right.
No, because that's how she is.
Ain't
behind my
nobody
back
scared
all
of
the
me.
time.
Ain't nobody scared of me.
Everybody's scared.
She's
of
always
you.
trying to
Yeah.
influence the decision, though. That's
Everybody's
the problem.
scared of people from Cleveland. I don't know what you talking about. Y'all energy. I was just talking to Cornell the other day. I'm like, the way you answer questions is so aggressive. Both you and Jasmine. He's like, well, that's just the way I talk. That's how everybody in
Oh
Cleveland
my
talk.
God, I guess.
She is pretty
Yeah.
aggressive. We have this
Just
discussion
very-
where she doesn't realize she's being aggressive. I'm
At
like,
all.
hey, you gotta.
Sorry.
Because that's how y'all talk
Bring
in
it
Cleveland.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
It's
That's
cold
how
out
you
there.
grew up. Exactly. Like, y'all don't got a lot of time for the Y'all be in snow and
Right.
10 coats. Bitch, out the way. That's how I be too.
You feel me?
I guess.
Just ask her the damn
Okay,
question.
so the question is.
See?
I live with this person.
Yeah.
Okay, so when eating fried fish,
Yeah.
do you use or do you believe in using mustard as a sauce that you would use?
No.
Why not?
But, you know, I'm not a good person
Relax.
to ask
I'm
this
not
question.
doing anything.
I'm not a big fan of mustard. But I cannot
Okay.
imagine myself, even in the event that I did like mustard, putting it on fish. Usually I would do hot sauce or maybe, what's that white?
Tartar sauce?
Tartar sauce, but I can't see
Have you
myself.
had it though? Because you
I
don't
would
like
be
mustard,
willing
so
to
there's
try
no
it.
way
I would be willing to try it because I feel like that would be a very interesting
you need to
flavor
fry some fish before she
profile.
leaves.
I'm not giving her no mustard.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. She has to try it.
I want to try it just to see because I feel like that's.
I'll get the white
Wait,
bread.
Jay is the catfish fryer
I am.
connoisseur.
Okay,
I
fine. She
love
can
frying
fry it, but
fish.
she's still gonna eat it the way I tell her to eat.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna try it with the mustard because that flavor profile seems interesting to me. I'm one of those people that like watching cooking shows.
You can do like ketchup and mustard if you want.
It ain't a damn burger, bro.
Now,
If you're
now
gonna
you
have a
lost me.
sandwich.
ketchup on fried fish. Nah,
Look, if
no.
you're gonna have a sandwich,
You just
Oh my
lost me
God,
on that
Mina,
one.
you have never seen a ketchup or mustard commercial and it's been involved in anything usually other than hot dogs,
Burgers.
hamburgers, or for ketchup like chicken nuggets or whatever,
Mhm,
and
fries.
mustard for like adding like when you're like doing mac and cheese and stuff like that, or you doing
Okay,
like,
so,
salads
like,
mac and
and stuff.
cheese,
Yeah, just a little bit.
And see, that's the thing. Like, it has a flavor profile that I could see being very like it'll add not heat, but some extra
everybody needs to try. Look, I'm not gonna have this debate with you guys. Like, I can't even understand.
nasty.
I'm willing to try
why.
it. I'm not debating. I
Okay.
just feel like I'm interested to see what the flavor profile.
It's gonna be
is
amazing.
for it. Okay.
It's just good.
So
I don't
now
know
y'all
about
did-
that.
It's gonna be great.
I don't know about that because
Have
I
you
tried
tried
it.
it?
I did try it.
It
I'm
wasn't-
not gonna judge something that I did not try. Like, I did try it.
Jasmine
And
is.
it was kind of.
Jasmine, don't listen to Jasmine.
I'm a C. I'm a
Don't
C.
listen to Jasmine. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Can you leave cuties out, or do they need to be put in the refrigerator?
Cuties. I think it could go either way depending on how you like to eat them, but
But they can't be left out, correct?
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah,
said they could be left
Okay,
out.
well, you want to put every fruit in the
Mina,
refrigerator.
you're going to
Um,
eat room temperature fruit. That is
From my
disgusting.
understanding, they spoil faster
Oh.
if they're left out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All
They can
fruit.
last a little bit longer in the
Then what's up
fridge,
with
from what I
bananas?
know. Bananas,
You can
they
put it in the
have a
refrigerator?
not natural, like, this is not the right word, but I can't think of anything else. The emissions they give off are what cause them to deteriorate so fast. I can't see those being in the fridge, though, because that's just going to make it worse. They'd probably be done in 20 minutes in the fridge.
That's what I'm saying. You can't put
Yeah.
every
I don't.
fruit.
The bananas are sitting out.
And when you go to the store, the cuties are always just out.
All of the
fruit is out.
is out. Yeah.
You know, I was talking to my friend the other day how everybody has like games, and when I say games, I want to clarify. I don't mean games like when people play games, but everyone has their games like with their friends, with a partner, with a lover, or whatever. And this is y'all game. Y'all bicker, and most people bicker. Like this is the thing. Like y'all truly get a
We
little
do.
bit of joy
I think we
from
probably
going
do.
head to head about. I love to watch people play their little game because y'all don't even know y'all doing it. It's just the natural. You know,
Sometimes I want to fight it. I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
We
But
fight,
y'all
we
like
fight over
that.
everything in the house. I like it hot. She like it cold. It's
I don't like it cold. I don't like it toasty.
yeah.
I like it.
And she was saying she got in my car today and she was hot
It was hot,
immediately.
yeah.
I was cold. I was like, oh damn.
She's
let me
always
lay down
hot,
the
though.
window.
The damn heat on hell.
I didn't have it on hell.
I
know
know
her.
her. The heat. I did have it on hell.
Girl, she wanted to be a incubator.
I
You
do.
see that?
I do. I want to feel
Like it's
secure.
like
I
we
wanna-
about to
yeah.
crack some, about to cook some chickens in this thing.
whatever. I'm just saying,
Trying to
I like
keep
it. I
the
like
eggs
it
from hatching.
comfortable. I want to be comfortable. I want to be in a space where I feel like it's not
This is
necessarily
comfort.
hot. It's
But
not
you know,
necessarily cold.
Because of y'all energy, I can see why one of y'all would want to have it hot and the other would have it cold. Because Jazz is very, not saying that you're not super productive, but she's extremely productive.
Oh,
And extremely productive people tend to be a little more like hot-blooded, and they like to stay cold because it keeps them focused.
Yes.
Like it keeps y'all on y'all toes.
I'm hot
whereas
now.
you know,
I'm like,
you're
I wanna be
productive
comfortable.
when you're, yeah.
Well, I have to be when I'm
You gotta be in
ready.
the zone.
I'm like, all
You
right,
gotta
but I
be
gotta be
warm.
comfortable to
You
be
can't have those
productive. I can't
distractions.
be if I'm cold. Nothing's getting done.
Yeah,
I'm not-
that cold is like a fire under her butt.
Yeah.
Whereas for you,
Cold
it's like,
to me
okay, I
stops me.
can't focus.
Comfort,
Yeah.
I'm good.
But if you're doing something, you're not going to be cold.
But if
And
I'm
that's-
sitting,
see,
no, but if
that's
I'm
that
sitting
mindset.
at the computer and I'm editing,
But if you-
I'm gonna be cold.
But if you're
Yeah.
thinking about editing, you ain't thinking about the surroundings.
That's
I sat here, you had this, you was working out, this door was open, this window was open, and all I had on was some shorts and a t-shirt, and it was like 50-something degrees outside, and Cookie was freezing, and she was sitting on my lap. The entire time I was editing the video, I was fine. As soon as I stopped, I was cold. I was like, that
Yeah,
cold in here.
No, I put on multiple blankets to edit because
Yeah.
I'm always
Girl, she
cold.
be in there
I'm the
looking
same
like,
way.
oh
In a
my
hoodie
God, y'all are
and
crazy.
sweats.
I
And
need
I
to
would
be
wear
comfortable.
We ain't supposed to be talking about us. We supposed to be talking about
Right. Anyways, back to you. So, one thing that we kind of discuss on this show is dating, because Jasmine and I are both on different dating apps. Sometimes the same, sometimes different, or whatever.
That was your cup.
If you wanted water, I would have provided you with water.
Ask the question.
I'm listening. So dating was the
She
question.
asked.
I saw it. I watched it, and
She
I
didn't
saw her
even ask
premeditated. I
You
saw
saw-
her look at you first.
I was like,
and
Jay
say,
did it.
I'm not
I was
gonna
like,
ask.
oh, that's some good water. That look good. I'm gonna get some.
Anyway, so we both are on dating websites, which is a new thing for me. I'm learning a lot. Have you ever done any dating, online dating, anything like that? Met anybody through? It doesn't have to be like specifically like one of the
Right,
dating
right.
websites, but like through an online sense where you had to do like date them
Like
or get
Gmail.
to know.
Yeah.
Not Gmail. What? No,
Yeah.
not in your email.
Uvu, Skype.
Okay.
No.
That's
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I've had to do that before. Actually, most of the men that I've had long-term relationships with, I met on some form of the internet. My first boyfriend I met on the internet. He basically hit on me through Twitter.
Mhm.
The boyfriend after that, I don't remember that. So I don't know how to
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. to you. I truly cannot remember how I met that
If
man.
you
Oh, I
out
met
there-
him at a party. It was a meet cute situation.
Oh.
And then after that, I met a man on Instagram. And those are like my three major
Top three.
relationships. Yeah,
But-
and all of them pretty much.
But have you ever done like Tinder
Long distance.
or whatever?
and- I've been on a dating app before. I was on Soul Swipe at
Is
one
it for
point.
black people?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
It
for
sound-
black
I was saying,
people.
it
It
sounded
sounds
very-
like some black shit. But
Yeah.
I'm like super like I want to be with a black man. I want him to know certain movies. Like, nigga, if you ain't seen Boomerang, we can't talk.
Mhm.
Like, that's
Right.
my type of energy. So I wasn't trying to get on Tinder and because I don't want nobody just to them. I mean, now I feel a little different. I'm 27 now. If you got to drop off and it's clean,
We got the address.
yeah, at this fucking point, seriously. But I'm just kidding. I don't want to be dropped off. But back in the day, yeah, I was on Soul Swipe, and that was interesting. I honestly didn't meet anyone I actually liked
Mhm.
on there because
yeah.
it was weird. Like some of them seemed just a little bit funny, a little bit of sugar in that tank.
Do you think that like the dating apps give more people a better opportunity to lie about who they are?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can project whatever you want. And that's just the internet in general. We all get to project whatever we want into, our community and people looking at us one way, and it could be something totally different on the other side of things. So for sure. But I don't know how much that would affect dating with a person, even if they're doing that type of online. I can't see that kind of impacting the overall relationship. If it's online, I assume that at some point y'all want to get more serious. You're gonna find out anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't who you said you was. You ain't read that book.
Not
Like,
to read that, but
Why
you
the
can't
fuck?
read.
Can barely
But
read.
I mean, like, but at that point, some people are already like too deep into it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I didn't spend this long. Do you notice that in people?
Yeah, I went through that. I literally went through that with one of my partners that I met online. I realized very, late that I was, I project, and sometimes it's not even that they projected a different version of themselves. Sometimes we project a version of them that we think they are. And it's like, oh, I thought you was this because I made that up in my head.
Right.
But that ain't what you are. Right. That ain't what you are at all. And you start to learn all these different things about the person. And I just feel like that's the natural progression of things, though. Whether it's online or not, you're going to figure out what you do and don't like. And eventually you're going to have to make a decision. Like, I don't like enough to dip, or I like enough to stay. Like, that's,
right.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, when you get to that point, and sometimes it's much later than others, you be like, damn, I done committed so much time to this. Now I'm trying to convince myself that things are going to be different, thus breaking my own heart. Do you think people do that a lot?
I actually just had to learn that lesson, and I think that's a lesson that everyone goes through at some point in their life or another. Like, eventually you're gonna have to learn how to break up, even if it's not. And I'm coming from a place of, ex-partners who were cheaters and liars and abusers and narcissists and shit. Not all of them, obviously, but, like a majority of them. So I'm going into a new relationship that's healthy and thinking, oh, I'm lucky. Like, I'm not getting, nobody putting their hands on me. I'm not being disrespected. The overall relationship, I'm not arguing every day or even every week or month. So I should be happy to be, but there are other things that really quantify, like, what I want in a relationship. And overall, you have to step back and say, okay, yeah, I could convince myself to stay because it's not bad enough, but it's almost like I had a friend tell me it's like the dog that's sitting on a nail, and his friend comes up and he says, "Why your dog just sitting there whining, sitting on that nail?" And he says, "I guess it don't hurt enough yet." And that's how I take my relationships now. It's like, I'm not gonna be that dog sitting on a nail. Once I sit on that bitch, I'm gonna say, "Let me get up."
Right? Yeah.
I think like our generation, and I think even the younger generations after us are going to have a easier time not settling, because you always hear that thing like, oh, people don't stay married no more, and it's because of social media. But no, it's not because of that. It's because women or people just in general are setting boundaries for themselves. Like, back then when our parents were married and they stayed married for 50 years, the damn daddy had a separate family, was cheating on her, but she didn't have 9 kids, and it's better to be a woman no matter if he was beating you, dogging you, treating like cheating on you and stuff.
Has a man.
Yeah, because they know what the man gonna want you.
That's what they thought.
Yeah, but that's what they thought, and that's what was cool at the time. Yeah. But now we're like, okay, well, it's not just like you said. It's not just about not cheating on me and whatever. Just because you don't cheat or you think you're doing enough, sometimes you're just not enough.
Yeah,
and that's
mean
cool.
We're compatible.
Yeah, and
that's something that I had to learn. Like, you may not hurt me in the ways that I am used to.
Right.
But you're not loving me in the ways that I need.
Right.
And that has to be,
that's a word right there.
Yeah, like I really, really had to learn that, and being able to step away and say, you know what, and do it with compassion too. And in the past, when I was breaking up with
you like
you but they deserved that to an extent, because of the things that they did. Whereas breaking up with someone who is really just like, oh wow, we're simply not compatible, or we simply need to grow. I want to be compassionate towards you. I want to give you what I wasn't able to get in my previous experiences. When people did me dirty, I wanted somebody to talk to me and talk me through the shit. So, I don't know. Relationships have definitely changed. And I also think, to your point about how it was, 50 years ago versus now, we're in a situation where we're able to see our options right in front of us every day. We go on our phone, it's like, oh, this he reading that. I like that.
Right.
Hold on, wait a minute. You posting about your inner child? Wait a minute, you in therapy? It's like,
Right.
So you start to think like, there's some other options out here. And, again, people be projecting certain but, some stuff is kind of hard to fake, even if it is online.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the options thing, not to be confused about y'all out there, it's not that people see their options and then want to act on it. But sometimes you don't know what's out there until you know what you like. Exactly. And you won't know that until you do have an experience with that, or you don't, or you're like
Speak
completely
on that.
deprived.
You get the opposite, and you're like, oh, my needs are being chronically unmet.
Right.
What would be meeting these?
Right, but doesn't mean that everybody, just because you got options, because everybody has options, it doesn't mean that you have to be exercising your options, but literally, if you take a walk outside, you have an infinite amount of options. Yeah. Anybody you come across can be compatible with you, but it's just trying to figure out who you are as an individual and what you do and don't like as a person. And it doesn't mean just because you got options, you exercise every piece of that. It's just that's a reality. So what can you see these options? You know that these men are out here and this is what I like. So or women. So what can you provide for me to make you my number one option, so I don't have to feel that I have to completely cut this off and then go and
or leave these other needs unmet. Because I think what happens, and even for me when I was younger, I think I even made a video about this, and it was supposed to be funny, but I look back on it now and I'm like, wow, I was very self-aware at this time. But I had a dude that I could watch movies with. I had my dude that I was getting from. Right. I had my dude that I could go to dinner with. Right. I had my dude that I could really talk to. Like, that was really a friend. And, you know, when I look back on that and I think about how I was younger and, you know, I thought I had to find all these different aspects in different people, as opposed to now I'm like, oh, I know what I like. I know what type of I like. I know, and honestly, I'm learning more about that every day. I had a tell me the other day he wanted to lick the arch to the bottom of my foot. I was like, nigga, go ahead. Shit, I want to feel that. You know, like, I'm learning shit. And as you get older, I think too, like, the people that you start to talk to get older and they on some different shit. I'm like, oh, this y'all gonna turn me out. I'm not ready for this.
And you change and you evolve. Like some stuff just be exciting for the moment, but doesn't mean it's gonna stay. You know, anytime you have something that's a new field, it's always like adrenaline. And it's hard to distinguish, like, oh, I really like this, I need this, versus this is just, I'm just excited about this. Because you can have it later, and it's like, okay, I mean, it's not really necessary. Like, cause I had a threesome, and the first time I was like, oh my God, I can see myself doing this more often. Then the second time I did it, I was like, okay, like, I don't need this, but, I mean, I'm not going to, like, decline the opportunity if I felt inclined to do so. But I feel you on that. As you get older, you get more exposed to different shit, and you like, okay.
Have you had a threesome?
Have you had a threesome?
I'm gonna lighten this. It's very great talk. It's very deep though. It's very deep.
Awesome. Yeah, we gotta cut it up. We gotta get some. You know, I know you want to hear about some other for sure.
I mean, I'm here for all of it, but I know JASMYN. If you get JASMYN rolling, we'll talk about this for 45 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh my God! Okay? And I was with you. We was here.
I know. I didn't make eye contact with you once. I was like, oh, I'm not here anymore. I was like, okay, let me. All right, I gotta stop this because they're gonna. And you know another thing, because if you look, because don't get her started. I'm like, we gonna be here.
Oh, you gonna watch the playback and see. I was looking at you.
I was looking at you too, but you were
No, you were looking directly, like you had full focus of her. You would glance, but I was like, I am behind the guitar. I was like, I'm not here. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, and the deepness is good.
She got me.
I was here for it. I'm here for it.
So I
did at one point in my life.
Had one with, and I don't know why I asked it, because like one with 3 girls just seems like a lot of work.
I actually feel like that would be so much fun and take a lot of.
That's because you're straight.
No, not at all. I'm bisexual and I love women, and I was in relationships.
You're too straight. You're too straight on the bisexual scale. If you feel like 3 women sounds like that would sounds.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, because I wouldn't be the one giving head in that scenario.
Right, exactly.
Like,
you'd be the receiver, right?
I don't even know about that now.
Now, what are you doing?
I just be wanting to touch stuff and just, let me see them titties, girl. Come on. Like, I'm just trying to, but I do love women. It depends on the type of women, though, too, because I like studs. So, if it's a stud in the room, baby, what you want me to suck? Okay.
Girl.
Wait, time out. Quiet. Are you? Wait a minute. Hold on. What do you want me to suck? Have you been out here sucking strap-on?
Oh, I meant more so clitorises.
Okay. I was just being clear.
There's
nothing wrong with that. I don't
nothing
judge anybody who sucks any strap.
If they want the strap-on suck, I mean, I figured out. It's a little silly. You can't do that. But
some people like the visual.
Right. Some people just like to look down at it. I had an ex for a very long time. And that was something that they enjoyed. So I don't have an issue with it, but it was kind of unnecessary.
But does it taste like rubber?
No, not back then. It didn't. It tasted more like silicone.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the.
It's not made out of rubber.
Strap-ons have exceeded expectations more so recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like they used to be really trash back when I was a girl. Like that it was.
They were not good.
It was like
your options were terrible.
Yeah, it was not.
It's wood.
That's canvas on wood.
That's terrible. But I feel like I've gone. So yes, I did have a threesome. That was when I was much younger. I was probably in my very, very early 20s when that happened, and it was with two people that I would never, absolutely ever have a threesome with again.
Was it bad or like?
It was awkward because they were, one of them was my partner and the other one was a very close friend.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it was uncomfortable for everyone involved because we didn't have that type of relationship before. It was like, oh, we don't have that attraction and all that other stuff. I don't even feel that myself and my partner at the time were attracted to the person we were having the threesome with. It was kind of like a moment of convenience, like, oh, we do want to try this. You're here. You're down. Whereas I would prefer, if I were to ever have a threesome again, it would be with someone where we're all like, we feel it in the room. Like the chemistry is there.
Right.
We pick up on it. We all looking at each other a little funny.
Mm-hmm.
Let's like that's. I'd rather it be that than oh, we should have a threesome. Let's invite such and such.
I feel like it has to be a conversation on all parties.
Yeah.
And I think with mine, one person I actually cared about, the other person I didn't about, and I think that made for a better time. But we both were like, okay, well, he's safe. Let's just try. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, oh, I'm so attracted to this guy.
Yeah.
I just gotta. This my man.
If I ever have a threesome again, I want the guy to be very attractive.
Oh, I want to be attracted.
I want to be
I want
like
body, yaddy.
Yeah. Oh, bitch. Like I want him to be at least 6'1".
Okay, now.
Just like you gotta pick me up and this bitch too.
Damn.
Like, I want all of it.
He gotta have.
He gotta. Might as well.
Okay.
You know what? That's
Why
not
would
a
make it
bad
a
idea.
fantasy?
If you got two and you looking for somebody,
Oh my God. Okay.
Don't do that.
Could you settle
Not
this?
too big.
What is it about like you said your type for women is like studs. Like is it you mostly lean towards studs?
Yeah, I do. But I have been attracted to it's either end of the spectrum. It's either gonna be a hard stud that I'm attracted to, or a very, very, very feminine woman. Like so feminine that I'm like her energy is just I'm drenched in that. This bitch come in out, bouncing, hair long, makeup beat, like everything about her. I'm just like, damn, I wish I could get my lashes to look like that. Why her eyeliner so sharp? This bitch is fine as hell. Like that type of girl. So yeah.
So what would you say to people who are like, well, if you're gonna date a stud and you gonna get the strap, you might as well date a man? What do you have to say to those people?
I think that's very ignorant, honestly. I think the spectrum of people that we all can be attracted to is so vast. There are so many different types of people in the world, so many different types of things to be attracted to that, as far as a strap-on, if that's something that a person enjoys doing and they want to literally someone with it, that doesn't have anything to do with whether they're, like I can go a man and get the same thing, but I want it from this person, so I don't think that makes much sense. I know that men feel very intimidated by women who use strap-ons and even women who use vibrators. It doesn't even matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever. Men are very easily intimidated by women taking ownership of their own sexual prowess and sexual freedom. So I think that's just the same has always existed in our society. Woman, we don't want you to, be sexual for anything but us type of thing. And if you don't do that, then we got a problem with it. So I think that's why men are so intimidated by strap-ons and feel like, why don't you just me because I don't want you?
It's also not the same thing. Go ahead.
I think
not at all.
Do you have? I know you.
No, that was it. That's what I
had.
said.
You had like 1,000 things you wanted to say. Did you want to go ahead? You go ahead.
I'm good. That's all I want to say.
Why you getting all clammed up?
Because you yelled at me.
I didn't yell at her. I was
Oh, you got a lot of nerve. The way she be talking.
I'm saying, I was just like, did you? I know you had some stuff you want to say. Did you want to say?
I just wanted to say it wasn't. It's not the same. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You
not
put your
the same.
shirt back down.
Oh.
Oh my gosh! Now she's gonna be
I'm
extra.
a turtle now.
You're not a turtle. You are a woman. All I was
Sorry.
gonna say was along the lines of what you were saying, in terms of like women actually taking ownership of their body and trying to enunciate, or not even trying, enunciating that to men, and especially because you work like in the entertainment business and you work with a lot of men, and a lot of times that comes with the added guy being under the impression that he has something to offer you based on what you can offer him.
Which is usually in his mind.
Which is in his mind. Have you dealt with that a lot out here, or not in a Me Too sense, but just in the sense of like you offering up no's to people who are clearly offering you, like, if you do this, I'll do this, and then had ramifications of you saying no?
Oh, of course. I mean, and more so than anything else, it's been, and I think I had to learn, I learned much later the importance of keeping those professional relationships completely professional, because I think as both a writer and just a creative, like we all are in general, I used to find myself getting attracted to people who I wouldn't necessarily be attracted to outside of the creative space. Just because we shared and melded well creatively, I always, for whatever reason, started to associate that with real romantic love and, attraction. So I had to learn how to decipher between the two. I was lucky that I did not have many experiences where I was put in a position to be, taken advantage of. Those were very few and far in between. But at the same time, I do feel, especially with like sketches and stuff, like we even started together and we would go to a specific place to do sketches, and there was a lot of, sexism in that kind of environment. There was a lot of, you need to dress with, these type of outfits, your cleavage needs to show.
I remember all the details in the message. It would be like, what are you going to be wearing?
Damn.
Right. What do you have to wear?
Wait, damn, really, for real?
Yeah. That's what me and Mina were going through when we first met and started filming together.
That's crazy.
That's
why you always had on crop tops.
That was in the message.
At
the message would say, make sure you bring X, Y, Z. Because if you remember, there was a time frame where, and there's still people who do it to this time, but like it was the screen, whatever it settles on. You say what?
Thumbnail?
Yeah, the thumbnail. See,
it's always on some
it was always or something like clickbait. It was always just clickbait.
Yeah.
And you had to be dressed for clickbait. And you were also going to act as clickbait. Because your role in it wasn't significant. Your role in it was physical, purely. And there weren't lines for you. Yeah, we were just talking props.
Yeah. And when you start in that space, for sure, I think it gives you a certain level of like what I found myself doing after I stopped doing that. And for you, I think as well, we still kind of had to get out of that mind frame of, we don't gotta dress like this for this. Like, actually, this is just a sketch about this particular topic. I can wear a t-shirt.
Right.
Like, I had to relearn that. Like, I can dress the way that I'm used to dressing again. I don't have to dress the way I used to dress in other people's sketches. And then also, there were a lot of times where people would, I guess, take advantage of the women that they brought on in terms of like their writing abilities. Like there were a lot of women, yourself included, who really could write, and they were really, really funny and knew how to tell a joke and knew the structure of a joke. And when you're working with men who don't get it, of course, like that's a fact regardless. But when you're working with men who don't understand the structure of a joke, but they want you there as a prop, they get very offended when you have the nerve, right, to raise your voice and say, actually, you know what, that don't really make sense. Like the structure of this sketch doesn't make sense. Why don't we try this? And then a lot of like myself, and you had to tell me at one point, you gotta stop telling these like how to change their, like, you can't give them advice because they're going to take credit. Like there were people who would say, oh, that's actually a good idea, I'm gonna do that. But it's still their sketch.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, she was always telling me how to not.
Well, you were funny, and that was something that stuck out about you versus like other women that were a part of what we were doing at that time. And I even, like, if I looked at my sketches, which were taken from learning from the people that we were in, I didn't dress the same. If you look at mine versus those, I wasn't dressed the same at all. And also, I learned my sketch format from them, but then I realized that my sketch format, like, my ideas didn't have to be presented that way because we had two different goals.
Yeah.
Their goal was something sexy. My goal was something funny. I can't make my funny idea have to be sexy to sell it to you.
Right.
And you can look at any of our content now, and it's like, my goal is to make you laugh. And if you find me sexy or you find me attractive or whatever you get from that, then that's on you, and that's great. But like,
through that.
Right.
I'm here because I know how to write, I know how to act, I know how to do all these things, and that's what matters. If me being sexy was what I want to do, then what do I need to do?
And that was the main priority.
What do I need to do that for?
Like I can just post a picture or a video, and I think for a lot of the women that would show up, it was more of a means to an end. Like they wanted a certain follower count. And being in the videos, it wasn't so much about, I want to learn how to write or make my own sketches. It was just like, I know that this man has 1 million followers. He's going to post me and he's going to tag me. And out of those millions of followers, I'll probably get 25,000 today and I'll be happy with that, you know, because I'm attractive. Whereas we really, really, and there's nothing wrong with that for the record. Like, if you out there doing that, girl, get your bag, do what you got to do. I'm not mad at you at all. It's nothing wrong with that. Use what you got until you get what you want.
Words to Ronnie.
Right. But as far as us, we had other we wanted to accomplish and that we wanted to do, which doesn't make us any better than anybody else. But it's just different goals. Added a complexity to it because I had to really think about the long term of shit that I was doing. Like at a certain point, there were times, and I'm sure for you as well, where I had to say no because I just didn't want some shit like that on the internet. Right. Because I knew that I wanted to be a writer and produce direct one day. And unfortunately, women are put in a really like position where if we do make those choices, it can follow us and it can literally, you know, we cannot earn as much respect or whatever later on in life because ain't that the same girl that was pretending to suck in that one video? Right. You know, so
I'm gonna say gonna be my own video.
Exactly.
On my terms. That's your
Well, that is a fact, and we discuss that often just because, like, you know, living here and working with, like, I enjoy the people that I get to choose to work with. You know what I mean? I like that. The partnerships and relationships you see me a part of, it's like, I enjoy that. Yeah. I feel like there was definitely times in my life where I was just at the mercy of being able to work because in my mind, how else am I going to be seen, heard, how else, you know, but things change. And I'm not saying my followers are like greatly different than what they were at that time.
But they up.
They're up, yeah, for sure. But it's like, right. But it's like, I value more my peace of mind about my work over my visibility immediately to whomever sees it. You know what I mean? Because what we didn't know, and this was a secret, and I don't know, JASMYN kind of always worked like by herself. She did all of her content alone. Yeah. She was, you know, she's self-made in so many ways.
I mean, nobody wanted to film with me in Cleveland.
I mean, you had it's kind of a similar situation you had with being in Detroit, like in terms of you got to just do it. If you want to do it, you have to be yourself, or you have to get who you could. But what we never really realized at that time was that even if those people came, like say you got those 25,000 followers that day that came because you had and you out on the video, it didn't mean that they stayed.
Because if not on that gram, on your whole gram.
They were not engaging, and that's why like a lot of like the I even feel to this day like my followers don't continue to grow because some of them aren't even, they're not seeing what they saw when they first saw me. Yeah. So if it's not that, then why are they going to engage? You know what I mean? To that now I say, well then okay, you don't have to. But we didn't know that. Will come. So yes, exactly.
And that's what you're on right now, and I think for a lot of people that are getting into this creator space where you're starting to make videos and you're starting to make content, you have to remember that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And that's what you've been doing for a while, and that's what JASMYN has always been doing, and that's what I've started to do now because I'm realizing I want to put the out that I want to be known for, not the that I know will go off. Because it's easy to say, all right, I know this video will go viral. I'm going to film this just because it will. And I know that I can have my out and do whatever, and that'll go viral and that'll get me followers. But like you just said, those followers, if
they don't care nothing about your written content, they don't care nothing about the stuff you put the work, the lights, and the
first of all that. Both of you guys' content has grown significantly since I met you both, and I think it goes back to actually being true in yourself and not being whatever caricature that someone has created for you. I love your sketch. I love both of you guys because I think both of you are very creative. And I'm happy that you both found your voice in yourself.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Yeah, you gotta find your own voice because your voice is powerful.
And it takes time, and that's okay too. And I say this to you often, like online, that one of the things that endears people to you so greatly is your ability to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be all of the things that like people want to do and say and express, but it's like as oftentimes as women or just as individuals, like feeling like we gotta be something, we just don't. And because I'm constantly like when you check in, log in, and I'm like, oh, Jay's on, let's see. Like the people, they come and they're ready to listen to you because they know the perspective that they're getting from you is a real one. It's not something that's fabricated for the purposes of, I'm going to get clout or what. It's none of that. It's like, this is how she feels. And I like hearing how she feels. Because sometimes when she says stuff, it makes me feel like, yeah, I do feel, like that's what people like. That's like a magic that is absent in a lot of things, but it's so nice.
And you can't fake it. You can't. And I think that's what makes it so special. Not about me, but in general, when people are willing to be vulnerable and go into a space that's so used to being very like hyper, like the perfectionism of Instagram and the perfectionism of YouTube is very much so something that people get tired of and get drained by because nobody has that back home. Like we just don't. And after a certain point of seeing people be perfect, you're craving, you're aching for someone to just be like, okay, today you up, and let me tell you why. Yeah. Like, let me tell you why I up. And I used to be very scared to talk about why I was up, but I've learned that on the one hand, people, like you said, they are more attracted to that honesty and that vulnerability, but on the other hand, it's going to help somebody. And that's the main part that makes me feel like, and I didn't even want to, an example is, last year, I developed like a very mild eating disorder. Like I was really going through some shit. I was not eating like every day for days and weeks at a time. And when I went through that, I pretty quickly got out of it and I realized I was myself up. Like I started not getting my periods and I was like, okay, this is weird. Like my right now. So I was able to get healthy and stuff, but it took me a very long time, like pretty much a whole nother year to come around to the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this because Black women go through this. And oftentimes, I mean, if you grow up the way I did watching Lifetime movies, the white girls had the bulimia and the, what is the other one? Bulimia and anorexia. And I think I was developing a very mild anorexia. And I don't see Black women talk about that, especially, and I look at myself and I know I'm thick. I know I know I got ass. And I see a lot of like smaller Black women who are walking around and that's just how they naturally are. And for me, I had to be like, you know what, I have never seen a thick Black woman just sit and talk about this. Like I was searching and looking for somebody who looked like me, talking about what I was going through. And when I realized that it wasn't one, I was like, I'm gonna have to talk about this. And it was a flood of women, and Black women specifically, and other women of color as well, and white women, surprisingly enough, because I don't feel like I got a lot of white followers, coming to me and saying, thank you for talking about this. I've been going through this in quarantine. I have these, different things that you've listed about, like, getting on the scale every day, and monitoring everything I eat and counting calories, and I didn't realize that this was stuff telling me that I'm developing an eating disorder, but I feel it in my body. And having even one person reach out to me, but it was literally hundreds, I was like, oh, like, this is something that needs to be talked about in this particular space. We see it a lot in other spaces, in non-Black and non-people of color spaces, and people are hurting. So what you're saying about, getting on there, being vulnerable, not trying to toot my own horn, but it's scary, and people can tell when you're scared, and I think that's what people are attracted to, because people are a little sick at the end of the day, and they know they scared too, so that, about facing your fears, people pick up on that when you're doing it, and so thank you, I appreciate
Kudos
that.
to you.
Yeah, that's to your credit, 100%. I mean, we should all be a little more vulnerable. It won't kill us.
A little more fearless, what's somebody gonna do to you? Nothing.
They might talk about you, but they're just gonna talk anyway.
They gonna talk.
They were gonna talk. They were gonna pick something, so that was gonna be their thing.
Blocked.
But since we talking about people, I'm gonna talk about some people.
Okay.
Not for real, but this is okay. So we were discussing things in the dating room. So I'm going to. This is a part of the show that one of our friends. What did she tell us to call it?
I forgot.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Am I in the hot seat?
You were in the hot seat. This is it's a la if you ever watched the Jay Leno show, it's like when he would do his news clippings, and it would be something
are
like
you gonna
that.
ask me who I think is hot?
So, it's gonna be just. I'm gonna ask you. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. So, These are going to be different prompts from dating websites, and you are going to tell me whether you think it came from a man or whether it came from a woman.
Ooh.
And these prompts are just supposed to help you get to know people, so you can figure out who you want to talk to or anything like that.
Better than a bio.
Better than writing a bio.
Bios are stupid.
You can also offer opinion as to what was said. So I'm going to start.
Are there any non-binary options?
You can say that, but I'm telling you now that's not.
Okay.
Not that I mean, not that. But these are like.
Peeps in there.
But I mean, on the dating app specifically, it's not popping up like on hers or mine. A lot of non-binary people.
Yeah, I mean, but they are
few
there.
and far.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they're there, but it's few and far in between. But usually, the non-binary people don't have anything stupid to say.
Yeah, they never do.
Yeah,
because they own their
right.
y'all on y'all.
Very busy taking over the world in the good ways. Okay, so the prompt is unusual skills.
Wow.
First of all, okay,
Wow.
so it says unusual skills, making the best Kool-Aid.
Okay, first of all,
but we'll get back to that. But that is the prompt.
It's just a packet.
okay.
Right,
Okay.
it is just a packet. So
That's a
what
man.
do you
Damn, I didn't even
Okay.
think about that. That is, I was so concerned about what's going on. But hold on, but
That's a man.
But
for sure.
the spelling though, it says
Oh, how do you spell it?
he spelled
MAKEING,
And
the
then-
best COOLAID.
That is a man. That
There
is a man.
there are so many issues.
Uh-huh.
You have to just
you
look at
already
it
knew
now
it was a
because
man though.
I don't. First of all, I need everybody to know how to use ing. We're not putting an ing after e. You don't. It just never. It's never been a rule. Also, Kool-Aid. It is on the package.
It's a K.
Was it?
It is a K. It's
Yeah.
it's a man.
It's 100%.
I'm not obviously. All of these get dropped into
Is
the
that my
video.
cousin?
I hope not.
Let me see that real quick.
I don't know if I have
What was
the
his
name.
name?
Hold
Oh,
on.
that's not my cousin.
Okay,
No.
good. I
That's
hope
not
not.
my cousin. It
Teach
looks
your
like
cousin
him.
how to spell.
Right,
Teach
that's
him
not him.
how to spell. Okay, so that was great. You won
Can
that
I read
round.
this one?
Yes. You can
Okay,
read this
it
one.
says, I'm the type of texter who, that's the prompt. I'm the type of texter who don't respond for weeks but then have an excuse that make complete sense and you ultimately forgive me.
That's a woman, because she knows she going to get forgiven. She got good and she know it.
That one is a man.
It's a
Are you
man.
serious?
I've seen him before.
You seen this guy?
Yeah,
Let
I've
me
seen
see
that guy.
him.
I've seen him a while
I don't know
ago.
if you might not be able to see his face because I was trying to keep their faces
It's a
out
man.
of it, but it is 100% a man.
Now,
But
that was a
he
good
got
guess,
good
though.
dick.
That is a very toxic trait.
Here's
That's
the thing
so
though,
toxic.
why?
Yeah.
What if you are just not going to talk to me? And don't do that to me. If you
Yeah.
start talking to me on a dating app or in regular life, and then we don't talk for a few days,
That's some
don't.
bullshit.
No.
First of all, if you don't talk to me for 24 hours, we don't talk no more.
24 hours?
This
That's
is
it?
Jasmine's rule.
Okay.
That's a whole day.
That is a long time to
But
not talk to somebody.
I'm trying to figure out if you are telling me you're going to make up an excuse that's
Why
going
would
to
I
make
even
complete sense.
So you're gonna
So
lie.
you're going to lie to get me to forgive you. This is what you were telling me on the dating.
He's telling you he's toxic from the jump.
From the jump.
And
But
what's
you know,
so funny
some
is
people like that. Like, some people like that. Old me would have been like, oh, really? I bet I can make up better excuses.
No, yeah. See, now that's the problem. You can't do it like that.
Yeah, no. That's young, 19, 20 me.
Okay.
Let's hear this next.
It's usually only 3. I'm going to do 4 because one just has to be done. So that'll be the bonus one. But this one, okay. I'm looking for a woman who doesn't have Instagram.
That ain't what they say.
I'm looking for a woman who doesn't have Instagram. I couldn't even say it how it needed to be said if I tried. I'm looking for a woman who doesn't have Instagram.
I don't know why, but I think this is a woman.
It is not.
It's not. It's a
It is
man.
a man.
I really feel like more men don't know how to use women and woman.
And I don't.
They don't.
What is that? It's
Oh,
very
and
clear.
He got the nerve to be a little handsome. Dummy.
I just don't understand why.
Can I read the last one?
Yes, Jasmine can read the last one.
It's in there.
Y'all gotta start reading. I was just on do y'all know Clint Coley? I was just on
I
his
heard of
podcast. Advice from a boy.
Oh my god.
I saw you posted it. I didn't get to.
They
Yeah.
don't be reading. Why?
What is wrong? Okay, here we go. This is good. This is good. This says, this is just a bio. let's have some fun in the hills. I'd like to pick you and have you sit in my back seat and play with yourself while I drive us around to different views in the Hollywood Hills. Your choice of music for 20 friendly is a pluses, like PLUS apostrophe S, and then all caps, we don't have to hook up.
Is that a girl or a guy?
I need to hear it one more time. Can you say it with an accent?
Say it with
Yeah,
like being a dude or just like a
any
English
accent. Any
Okay,
accent.
I will do it English.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's have some fun in the hills. I'd like to pick you and have you sit in my back seat and play with yourself while I drive us around to different views in the Hollywood Hills. Your choice of music, 420 friendly, is a pluses. We don't have to hook up! Exclamation point and caps.
That's a man, because he know he ain't getting no. He already know he not.
Wait, but hold on. You supposed to? I don't understand.
Justin is a creep. Justin is a creep.
I want to understand why. Like, I gotta get in your car and just gotta
right.
go. Right, like,
what the hell?
That is so much pressure for a
It's like,
first
ooh,
meeting.
I like the houses over there. Oh, and then we don't have to hook up. So what do you do after that? Okay, thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Thanks for the ride.
Yes.
What type of weird is that? That's strange.
That is the weirdest.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So
was the final
that was the final part.
Okay.
Of, I'm still naming this segment. I rename it every episode, but right now we're gonna call it
Who said that? That would be a good
said
one.
that it's seriously
Who
the
said
disrespect. I don't know who said that. Okay, so this is a new extended segment that I call "Wish the Fuck" because I don't know if you ever are on Facebook or anywhere, and there are always constant wish ads for all kinds of things that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I want your buy-in on why they would be selling this particular product. I'm gonna give you a couple different ones, and what you think it is.
What is that?
Okay, this is the first one.
That really is a wish the like I'm
that?
really trying to.
So
What is that?
Let me guess.
Oh wait.
Let's
Oh
see
my
what she
God, I
guesses
know what
that-
it is
okay.
now. What the?
Let me see.
They're $2, by the way.
What
Are those Christmas lights?
the? Girl,
No, they are. What are
crack pipes.
they? Are crack pipes in bulk for $2. Why wish? I wish
Wait,
the
but
I
they're
would buy
colors.
different variations
But they're colors.
of crack pipes.
They have multicolored
If
crack
I was
pipes
going
on
to smoke some
wish.com.
crack out of pipe, I want it to be colored.
I sure as hell don't want it to be $2.
for bulk. I mean, they're not
For
selling
bulk.
one. You're getting
Damn.
You're getting hundreds of crack pipes.
I know what they are. They're disposable ones. So you don't got
That
to
is-
crack twice.
in the same.
I don't know if that's how
That's
cracking works.
That's for COVID.
sad.
Uh-huh.
That's sad.
Okay, so this
Okay.
is my new favorite. I wish the
Oh my god.
who are these for?
What is that?
Who are these for? Who are these for?
Are they waterproof panties?
I don't understand
Are
their
they waterproof?
function. I feel like this is where you cook a yeast infection. I don't
Yeah, I
understand.
feel like that's for.
It's a shower bag for your vagina. But ain't you supposed to wash your...
It's not a bathing suit. It does look like a shower cap for your
Is
vagina.
that maybe for someone who's like bleaching their pubic hair?
To keep it hot down there so it'll bleach faster? Who
maybe-
bleaches their pubic hairs? Is that a
Maybe
thing?
People do
for
that.
someone
People do
who's
that.
gotten surgery, like the BBL.
But I don't know why it would be hot. Like, I mean, that material is plastic.
That's
It's not good. It's not for women. That can't be for
Yeah,
women.
that's not
what
right.
is that?
What was it?
It's I don't know. It's something. They're $12.
But it's $12.
How could I
$12 underwear.
Sometimes they don't
panties.
have a name on it.
Yeah, they just say things.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this one. Now, this is something I
Okay,
want to
I've
know
seen
what
that
you
before.
like. Would this be a turn on for you if you could get this for your man?
Okay.
Is this something that you'd be interested in? Business up top.
But you gotta look.
Party
You gotta
down
do this,
below.
Jay. When you about
You got to unsnap. Do you like when we gotta get
Unsnap
that snap?
I
Do you
would.
If you were with a man and then this
And they came out in that?
and when you got to when he took his pants down, you had to.
And he lifted up his legs and said, "Go
I
ahead,
didn't
baby."
respect him anymore. I couldn't see him the same after that.
Go ahead,
at
baby.
all. I truthfully, that is some really funny for a guy to do if he's really just trying to throw me off. Like I would be attracted to that would do something like that. But if that's someone that I just met and maybe we've been dating for like, you know, we've been on 4 dates and then we're finally gonna do the do or something and he takes his pants off and that's what he got on, I am stepping the out. Like I
have a problem.
Yeah, just because it's very strange. It kind of reminds me. Have y'all seen Broad City?
Yes.
Y'all know the episode where they have, I cannot remember his name and it's a shame, but they have an episode where they're trying to get Lil Wayne tickets and they need to be able to afford them, so they go to clean houses and the guy comes out, it's a grown man in a diaper.
Yes.
You remember that?
episode.
That was such a funny fucking episode. And that's what that reminds me of, like that energy of that man in a diaper. Yeah, it's like, you're a toddler, sir.
You are a child.
And then he got the nerve to have a big too.
Or
really
he's got
fucking
some
me
extra socks in there.
I
Okay.
think he gotta have some socks.
This, I don't know what it is. Maybe you can explain it to us.
Okay.
Now, what is this?
I think
What
it's,
is
I
this?
think it's the.
Explain
It's
to me
for the-
what this is.
I think it's
That's
for
an
the
hole.
opposite. I think it's for the opposite gender.
Okay.
It's a hole.
It's a hole. They for them to not
So
have
what-
to take their tights off.
Right, when
Why
it's
are there
cold
two
outside.
fingers through it?
Because
Why?
they want to
you can't
show. Right? They can't put a there. Imagine now if they used a cucumber or something. How uncomfortable that would be.
I would have rather them use a cucumber.
I mean,
the two
those are-
fingers are throwing me.
Those are women's. Wait, those
Well,
men's
there's
legs?
They're
Those are
stockings. It's-
tights.
I'm guessing they're tights.
Mm-hmm.
Or
With a they are tights with a
maybe it's for dancers.
Yeah, I think
What
it's
for
dancers, ballerinas.
Yeah, because if they gotta pee, then they gotta take the whole thing down.
Drag queens when they out doing their drag shows. I can see because they be under all of that. They got them tights on. I can see how that would really come in handy if the drag queen got
Because
it.
how then you got to read, then you got to put it back wherever you
But
put it.
if y'all, let's say you go on a ski trip to Big Bear with a man, and he got on underneath his snowsuit, he got on a
Just to
damn
keep
big hole.
warm.
Would you be like, all right, pull that damn turtleneck off that I'm about to suck it?
I mean, hey. Listen, you gotta get it how you can. I'm not the type to turn that down.
Oh my gosh. Well, that has been.
Hey!
Wait a minute. I'm saying something. That has. Jesus, I can't even ever say anything. That has been Wish the where we wish understood what the products were for.
Yeah.
Because we
That
have
was-
so many questions.
That was crazy.
But yeah, that was weird. So now we are moving on to our final segment where JASMYN teaches us a little bit about Black history.
Called Do You Know These Negroes? And I picked this specifically for you because you're a writer. And I thought you would find this interesting. No.
Okay.
But did you guys know that the first female African American publisher, Phyllis Wheatley, was only 12 when she became the first Black publisher? You know that?
Yeah.
Girl, I ain't know that.
You didn't know?
No, I ain't know nothing about that. No, she was she was 12 years old. That's crazy.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's
It
crazy.
is. And you know what
child.
what makes it not crazy though is like if you look around, there are so many child entrepreneurs who came from parents that literally don't have. I mean, the writing thing is like obviously very impressive. I'm not saying taking away from that, but I'm saying like so many lemonade stands. They're writing books. They are
Clothes.
creating clothing. They are making like all kind. These children. Do you know what I was doing when I was in school?
This next generation is going
Nothing.
to be incredible. It's so many entrepreneurs. There are 16-year-olds who are barbers and licensed now. And that's like when we look around and see, and I know it's because of the internet and it's because of social media that all of these kids are able to like build these platforms when they're making all this money. So I can imagine what the dating scene is going to look like for these kids in the next 5
Imagine
years.
putting yourself through college.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And
Like,
it's
that's
a lot
like
of
reality.
that's a
now.
majority now.
Yeah.
Like they selling online and all types of shit. Go ahead, y'all.
Y'all are
Kudos.
amazing.
But you know what's crazy? I think in a sense that history is repeating itself because fortunately and unfortunately enough, when we were children, we were allowed to just be children. You know, some of us, based on trauma or whatever was going on, had to accept more responsibility at a younger age, which is what these kids are doing, but it's not forced. They want to.
Right.
We had the opportunity of just enjoying our childhood if that's something that we wanted to do. Stay a child as long as you want to, but these kids want to get they fucking back because why wait for it? You know what I mean? Because
and their parents are healthier too now.
They're definitely healthier. They're younger. They're smarter. They understand and everything. So
we're getting therapy and shit. Their parents are getting therapy. Yeah. So it's just a whole different ball game for them now. Like we were raised by, and this is I don't know, how y'all parents raised y'all, but for me, my mama needed therapy bad. Like she needed therapy.
My daddy did.
Yeah, and when you don't get that, it affects your children. It affects what they think they're capable of at times. And obviously, some of us can pull ourselves out of that and think different. But for the vast majority of people, it was a totally different story. It's like, damn, I am trapped here, and I can't do this, and I can't travel, I can't do that. Right. It's a lot of people who die in the same place they were born and never go anywhere else. But these kids now, they have parents who get therapy, who are learning how to be parents for real, like not
how to be adults,
stay in a child's place type, but literally like, oh no, what you have to say is valid. I'm listening to you. So these children now are empowered in a way that it's incredible. Like I'm so excited to see what the next generation is about to do. Like when all these kids right now turn 18, some is about to be nuts. I know the next president we have, all of that.
Baby that's born in 2010, 2020 is gonna be a good person. Should be a good person.
We all hope, yes.
Yeah, God willing.
Because these kids ain't no joke. They she, him, and her, and all, like them and all of that shit. They know all the pronouns. They trying to understand racism in the workplace and just in general, and trying to be better. And that's I love to see it. They know how to say transgender and not transgendered or and all that other shit. They don't say that. Like
180 from where
these kids
we
are
were.
Smart.
Yeah.
I mean, when we was kids, oh Lord, I'm ashamed of the things I said.
Yeah,
but it's also an ignorance of information, and you have to take into consideration like where you were getting your information. And when we were younger, when we were younger than we are now, because we're all different ages, but it was just strictly television media, and even that had no, in movies and things, they had no sensitivity to certain things because it was never made important. Everything they were jokes, and so the only way you knew those words or you knew information was what you were taught and told. So now, like you said, with the internet, there's so much more information to be had, and people are actually interested. They're thirsty for information. They want to know.
LLCs and everything. I had a 16-year-old teaching me about an escort and how I could have an escort with my YouTube and how I could have employees. I was like, girl, do you have employees? Yeah, I got 3. Like, what the
They're smart.
They're so smart. So, yeah.
Shout out to the youth.
Yes. Shout out to the
Whitney Houston was on the one where she said the children are the future. That is
she was spitting. Okay.
She was not playing.
No.
Well, I'm so glad you were on our show.
We're so glad you were on.
You were such a breath of fresh air in all aspects. So smart, so just motivating in many forms. These are things I tell you all the time, but you know what it is. What are you? So you're back in LA. You're working. What do we have to look forward to from you in the near or distant future? Goals that you're working towards?
Well, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm really excited just to be back and working. You know, if you're a creator who wants to work, hit me up, DM me. I check that. I'm writing a lot right now. I'm working on a series with Ayana the artist, who's amazing and beautiful and so talented. I have some stuff coming up with Audra Lachelle Kinkhead. We're working on a pilot. I'm really, really excited to see what happens with that. It's about her family, and it's amazing. She came up with this whole idea. So we're having a lot of fun with that right now. And really, I'm just excited to see how the next year goes. I'm focused for the next however many months, so we can be in a different place at this interview at the end of this year. Yeah.
So we'll revisit this interview. We'll watch it and be like, now how was that thing?
That's going to be crazy. I'm excited to see what that looks like for all of us.
It's going to be great. It always does. Every time we check back in, everybody's like
progressing.
Well, where can they find you specifically online?
You can find me everywhere at jaethefade. That's going to be JAETHEFADE. That's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I have 2 Facebook pages. One of them is because people was posting my content. So just follow both, just to be safe. No, for real, y'all know how that they talk about, you have unoriginal content. Bitch, it's me.
Right.
I just did that yesterday, bro. It's me, bro.
Right. So that's a whole issue. So follow both Facebooks. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm also a writer, a screenwriter. So if you need help writing anything, I'm thinking about starting to write for creators out here, like other influencers. You should. So,
that's dope.
yeah. So hit me up. I'm here. I'm ready to work.
Hey,
What's going on?
well, that has been JAETheFade on It's the Disrespect Tho. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. We'll see you next week.
Hell.